to the Elite Eight. All on the road to the Final Four. And away we go in Massachusetts. Trammell won it. And now it's Butler. In the corner they drive, and in the circle they've got it. That will go down, shot right there, Jaden Ledee. This is the first deficit UConn has faced in this year's tournament.
That's an amazing number. We talked about their dominance, and they've been really dominant on this end. San Diego State is a good defensive team, but they're going to have a hard time chasing these UConn guys around.
Flinging inside, 7-2. Castle, little two-man game. With a move and a drive.
Well, we see that matchup, Kevin and Dan, on both ends. These two guys matched up last year. They were both coming off the bench. Now they're huge parts of their teams.
And we've already seen, Stan, that each of them is going to give the other one some trouble.
It's Trammell and Jay Pell for the 24th rated in the AP poll Aztecs. Shot clock at 6. Making a move here. Butler takes it. Rebound pulled down by Caravan inside for the Huskies.
And UConn gets it into the front court very quickly, and then they start moving.
Caravan. That is a 3.
Well, he's as good on that pick and pop as anybody in the country.
You got to make him put the ball on the floor. He is a great catch and shoot guy.
Ledee, that's a triple.
Well, he's shooting well over 40%, but it's only his 20th made 3 of the year. But that improved jump shot, more from the mid-range, Dan, has really added to his offensive prowess.
Look how far off Ledee is playing in the middle of the lane.
Newton got the screen. Chiseling inside. Did not hit the rim. Shot clock at 6. Castle with it. He's a freshman. Backpedaling. Triple. Rebound pulled down by Trammell. They'll come the other way. Into the defense of Spencer. Kick it on the wing. Parrish will take it in. Picked up by Caravan.
That was a forced shot, Stan. When you take forced shot, that allows UConn to get out and go a little bit.
Castle's got a huge size advantage here.
Stephon Castle will take it.
And that San Diego State has very good defensive guards, but they're small. They list Trammell at 5'10". I'm not sure he's that tall, and Castle's a legit 6'6".
Well, I hope Trammell's 5'10", because I'm 5'8", and I'm the same size he is.
It's Ledee on top, another 3. Rebound Castle. He was the Big East freshman of the year. And Newton the other way, and here comes Spencer. He played at Rutgers and Loyola, Maryland. A floater on the fly, loose inside, snared by the Aztecs. Here comes Parrish. Pell down low, underneath, lot of congestion. Ledee.
Wow. Great start for Ledee. We've seen everything. The mid-range jumper, the 3, and now inside. And down there, he always wants to turn to that left shoulder for that right-handed jump hook.
Ledee was the top scorer in the Mountain West Conference. Spencer tried to drive, Castle wall line. Then they go down low. Caravan knocked away inside by Pell. But Caravan pushes it back up and in.
UConn is an excellent offensive rebounding team.
Step back, Trammell, triple.
Well, Trammell hit 4 threes against Yale in the second round. He's now 12 for 21 from 3 in the postseason, going back to the Mountain West tournament.
Racehorse basketball in this Sweet 16 game. We're back in Boston, 1-point lead for San Diego State. Now here's our keys to the game presented by Great Clips.
Yeah, well, for San Diego State, It's about their defense, and they've got to dominate the paint at both ends.
And UConn, they shoot 59% from 2, 36% from 3. They have to be that kind of efficient today, and they have to win the battle on the boards. San Diego State is a big, strong, rebounding team. UConn can't give up extra opportunities.
Couple new players in for San Diego State. Elijah Saunders and Reese Waters. At the free throw line, Castle. First shot is astray. Trammell picked up the first foul for San Diego State moments ago.
And Waters coming into the game is actually their second leading scorer. Now, they don't have another guy besides Ledee averaging double figures. And Waters started most of the year. He's come off the bench the last 11 games. He was the 6th man of the year in the Pac-12 last year at USC and said he's really comfortable in this bench role.
Ledee and Klingen's got him. Here's Waters, and Stan was just talking about him. Saunders, Trammell, lot of traffic. Ledee inside, Klingen will defend, knocked it away. It's Caravan getting the ball out to Newton. Here come the Huskies. Ooh. Long three, called!
Wow. That was a deep three, Dan.
You know, he is a very good catch-and-shoot guy. He's got pretty good range. He likes to score in transition, but I didn't know he had that kind of range.
Waters can't hit. Offensive rebound going inside. It's Ledee. He's got 9 quick points for the Aztecs.
Wow, UConn was leaking out a little bit there, just assuming they could get the rebound.
Underneath, Cam Spencer. First team All Big East. Comes from Rutgers. That's a shot which will go down. Reese Waters. He was the Pac-12 6th man of the year last year with USC.
He sure was, and he likes that matchup against Spencer. He's a very aggressive scorer.
Stephon Castle from Covington, Georgia, a freshman. And one of the best in the country. Spencer tees up a 3. Aggressive rebound inside by Newton. Hits the deck, whistle blown, and 14-14 to go here in the first half. Foul goes on Ledee, number 1. Coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship. Sweet 16 begins tomorrow afternoon across the ESPN platforms. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com.
That's 2 offensive rebounds already for Tristan Newton, who's a point guard, but one of the better rebounding guards in the country.
Look at that drive right down the middle. Newton gets it.
That's really a good play because Ledee just picked up a foul. He could not afford to be very aggressive going after that one.
They're really letting these 2 guys wrestle in the low post down here. Klingen and Ledee. It'll be interesting if they continue to let them go the entire game.
That's a shot by Ledee. And it's a rebound by the Huskies as they have brought in Diarra off the UConn bench. Spencer getting position, doubled inside.
Spencer's noted as a 3-point shooter, but he's pretty good with those floaters in the lane.
Well, he needs to be because San Diego State will work hard to make him put the ball on the floor and play inside the arc.
Jaden Ledee, there's Trammell, the fake, the jab, the 3.
And Stan, I think one thing we're seeing here early is it's really a problem. Trammell is so much smaller than the UConn guards. We saw it there as he gave up the basket. And then on the offensive end, he's gotten into the lane, but he can't do anything with it because there's so much size around him.
And that was really a problem in the national championship game last year, too. Butler and Trammell were able to apply great pressure, but the size difference became a problem, particularly as the game wore on.
Klingen checks out. Samson Johnson with the ball right here, checks in. Newton got a screen and puts up a 3-point shot. A 7-0 run by UConn.
Well, Newton's only a 32% three-point shooter, but he shoots a lot of them, 6 a game, and was able to get his feet set there when Butler went under the screen.
It's Ledee. Point blank range over Johnson, give him 11.
And that's a basket that San Diego State had to have. But one thing that the Aztecs cannot do, they can't get way behind because they are just not a very potent offensive team.
Lamont Butler just picked up a foul for San Diego State. The first on him. He was the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. Choose perfection. Choose LG OLED Evo.
Now, these are really rough minutes, Kevin, for San Diego State. With D on the bench, do they have a way to score?
A freshman, Miles Heide, is checked in, along with Miles Bird. And the coach, Brian Dutch, hoping they can go Miles. There's a quick foul. It goes on Newton, and the first on him.
Stan, I think their best scorer in the game with the D out has to be Waters.
No question. And Waters is an aggressive scorer, and you can tell he likes the matchup with Spencer.
Castle comes in for Newton for the Huskies. It's Darian Trammell up. Heide. And now the coverage over there, Castle. On the wing, Saunders a three. Leaping rebound by Stephon Castle. The best perimeter defender. He takes it the other way. It's loose. And they go in. Stewart. Spencer. Three.
He's as good a shooter as there is in the country. Fifth in the nation in three-point percentage.
We watched him yesterday. He barely missed a practice shot. Lot of traffic on that ball. Miles Bird. Now there's Darian Trammell. Slicing, kicking. Outside Heide. On the wing. Three-point shot. Will not go. Miles Bird. It's picked up on the play by Jalen Stewart. Quickly down court. Cam Spencer. Bird is on him.
San Diego State only shoots 31% on the season from three. If they're going to be limited to three-point shots, it's going to be a long night.
UConn, the #1 ranked team in the AP poll, and for quite a while. Inside Spencer. What a great feed by DR. DR has 12-2 run.
DR has had an outstanding year as a backup point guard for them. Didn't get into the very end of the national championship game last year, but he has been an integral piece this year.
Look at this defense. I mean, they're swarming.
It's Trammell trying to pick and poke his way. With a drive inside, Saunders gets it to go. Elijah Saunders from Phoenix, a sophomore, and took it right down the lane. Here is Cam Spencer. He is a flamethrower on any given night. And then the answer at the other end, Saunders of the Aztecs. And now Journey Through the Tourney, presented by Marriott Bonvoy. UConn has not trailed in the first 2 rounds, and San Diego State had a big win over Yale. Moments ago, our Andy Katz caught up with the Big East Coach of the Year, Dan Hurley.
Danny, how would you describe the suffocating defense that we've witnessed the last 4 or 5 minutes?
I mean, by both teams. I mean, we're both really getting after it, and both teams are making shots right now, too.
Thanks, Danny.
One of the things, Stan, that he said, and Dan, is we're a bulletproof team by playing the kind of defense, even when our shots are not falling.
Well, yeah, we saw in the second round, right? The round of 32, they go 3 for 22 from 3 against Northwestern and still cruise to victory pretty easily. They can win a lot of different ways. They can beat you inside, outside. They can beat you with their defense. They can beat you on the glass.
And it helps when they're shooting 68% overall and 66% from 3. That really helps the defense look good.
Stephon Castle. And now Spencer. Inside, Johnson. Rebound, Saunders. Down court, underneath. It's Heide trying to get his footing and had the ball knocked away. It's off his hands and off San Diego State.
It's really a tough catch. I mean, I thought he was going to catch it, but he was just off balance and couldn't control it. I don't know that you want to throw this to your big guy. And really good defense back there by UConn as well.
Great run, though, by Heide.
Yeah.
Tristan Newton checks back in the game. Donovan Clingan is in the contest, and Alex Carabin who grew up about an hour west of here, checks in for UConn with under 10 to go here in the first half. Castle, Caravan. It's tipped and retrieved inside, and here come the Aztecs, and led by Micah Parrish, Saunders, and Trammell. It's a three.
You know, I thought he had the three right away and passed it up and then took a tougher one.
Totally agree.
Castle the rebound and sets up for a 15-footer. With the leaping rebound by Bird, shoved inside, whistle blown, out of bounds. Aztecs will have the ball, and a foul goes on Castle, his first, Dan.
Now, Kevin Castle committed that foul, but Stan, I think Castle can get that shot anytime he wants to over Trammell. Trammell simply nothing he can do about that unless he can steal the ball.
Well, that's exactly right, and that is Trammell's defense. He gets into you, pressures, tries to create turnovers, but if you can get to your spot, you can just rise up over him.
Here come the Aztecs, fourth consecutive NCAA tournament. Jay Powell is back in and working inside and getting the two. It's Bird, and he's got his first basket to go in.
Bird's pretty athletic. And again, he just did what Dan talked about UConn doing. He just got to his spot and got up over the top.
Huskies won the Big East regular season and the tournament. Caravan for three. It's held inside. It will be Connecticut's ball.
Newton is so aggressive on the boards. I mean, he just goes after everything.
Yeah, 3 offensive rebounds already from your point guard.
Remember against San Diego State in the final a year ago, 19 points and 10 rebounds against the Aztecs.
Yeah, he was terrific.
He was.
And, you know, he's running in from the perimeter to the board. A lot of times guards will just turn and look. You've got to get a body on Newton.
Shot clock at 9. Newton will maneuver. Butler's on him. 3 won't go. Powell collects the rebound. UConn has missed 5 in a row. Powell.
Great defense there, Kevin.
Micah Parrish. Ooh. Ladiv's got the rebound. Over Klingon. That's a tough shot with the 7-2 guy lunging in front. Watch the men's Sweet 16 on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now to stay up to date on all the action.
And Brian Dutcher told Stan and I yesterday, you know, I don't mind if you shoot a step back, but maybe not right at the beginning of the shot clock. They had an additional 20 seconds, and he took a tough shot.
Tristan Newton maneuvers with a Euro step inside for 2.
Well, and Ladie offered no resistance, not wanting to get that second foul. He really didn't try to help at all.
Timeout, San Diego State. 8-point game. We've had 4 ties, 3 lead changes in a rematch of last year's national title game. Connecticut, San Diego State on TBS. Well, this year, the 4th time teams have met in the NCAA tournament. The year after playing in the national championship game, 62, Cincinnati defeated Ohio State after beating them in the 61 national championship in 91. Duke upset UNLV after the Run Rebels beat Duke in the 90 title game. And then in 07, Florida defeated UCLA after beating the Bruins in the 2006 title game. Huskies come in the #1 overall seed for the first time in program history. Jay Powell into Caravan. Tapped by Spencer. 2 good defensive teams, both top 10 in defensive efficiency. Caravan 3. Klingon got a hand on it. Pulled down by Castle, back to Caravan into a thicket of defenders. Tie up. San Diego State will get the ball. 7:21 first half as we step aside in Boston. UConn by 8. Cheer on your favorite NCAA team with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to ncaa.com/shop. shot moments ago. Andy Katz caught up with the coach of San Diego State, Brian Dutcher.
Brian, how did you weather that first storm from UConn?
You know, we're getting below them again. We were getting above them, and they were back cutting us. We got to stay below them, and then we got to take better shots. We're shooting step backs too early in the shot clock.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Andy.
It was just last year they beat #1 Alabama to get here, and flying in, pushing it back through Ledee, and 13 points for him.
That's a really good job by Butler. If you can get to the basket, then Klingen's got to come over to help. And even if you miss, Ledee is going to be all over.
Yeah, and but that was a straight blow-by for Butler. The defense has got to be a lot better, and that's Ledee's second. And that's a tough, tough call.
This is a Stan Seg, second personal foul. Here was the defense and the drive by Tristan Newton.
I don't like that call at all, Dan. That contact was totally created by Newton jumping in. Ledee kept his arms back. Was there a little side-to-side movement? Maybe, but for all they've been letting Klingen do to Ledee at the other end in wrestling him, that is a bad call.
Newton at the line is a senior, a grad senior from El Paso, Texas, where he was the high school player of the year. And Danny's a transfer from East Carolina, where he was a 3-year starter.
Yeah, but him turning into an Associated Press first-team All-American is just one of the amazing stories in college basketball.
He had a double-double against Northwestern and Chris Collins' Wildcats the other night at second round, 20 points and 10 assists. He was magnificent. Driving here, Butler. Lot of traffic. Lost the ball. Picked up on the play by Newton.
And that time he didn't get it up on the board.
Castle.
And UConn will do that off the turnovers. They'll push. Great pass from Newton, and Castle can really run.
It's Ledee with a spinner. 15 points.
I'm a little surprised how easy it's been for Ledee against Klingen.
Ledee, one of the top 10 scorers in all of college basketball. It's Castle on top, Caravan down low. The 7-2 Klingen over Ledee. Foul, it's on Connecticut. It's on Klingen. Number 1.
When you turn the ball over against a team like UConn, they can really get out and go. And San Diego State, you know, they're not shooting the ball well. They're rebounding it relatively poorly. If they keep turning it over, they're going to be really in trouble.
Castle checks out for the Huskies. Hassan Diarra checks in.
Yeah, and look, Diarra, as we said earlier, has been great. But that last one was a great defensive possession by San Diego State.
Parrish. Diarra.
Parrish has now missed 11 straight NCAA tournament threes going back to last year.
Klingen inside, Ledee defending. Klingen reels it in. Newton with a three. Caravan the rebound. Another offensive pour. Newton driving down the lane. Foul San Diego State. Basket will not count.
That foul was called on Trammell because he's got his whole body turned. You have to have your position established, be facing the dribbler. But he hits him with his shoulder. And yeah, the offensive guy was going pretty fast and maybe went into him, but that's not good defensive position.
I agree with that call. That was a good call. And I'm not saying the ref was wrong on this call. They need to change their rule on continuation, Dan. Why should the defense be rewarded for that foul? Newton deserves to have that bucket.
Klingen's got it. He'll make a move with Ledee defending. Another miss on the doorstep. Out to Caravan. It's a three. Another offensive rebound. Newton corrals it and has it back into Klingen. The bump, the grind. He lost it again. It's picked up by Lamont Butler, and the Aztecs running. In the corner, this is a three. Parrish.
finally knocked one down. If San Diego State's defense has been excellent, Ledee has been great inside against Clinton, but they can't rebound, Dan. They've given up 9 offensive boards already.
You're on defense until you have the ball, and they can't get the ball.
Now, they've been fortunate. 9 offensive rebounds have only turned into 4 second-chance points.
Newton getting a screen and takes it inside. Knocked away from behind by Butler. Shot clock at 2. Refuel with this delivery-only offer from Wendy's and Coke Zero Sugar. Order now in the Wendy's app and snag a $0 delivery fee.
Connecticut has really cooled off, Stan, and one of the reasons is they're getting all these offensive rebounds and missing again.
Caravan's 3 for 9. Clemens 1 for 4 inside.
Connecticut has
locked him up.
Connecticut has missed 13 of their last 15 shot clock violation turnovers.
For all the problems San Diego State has had, it's a 5-point game.
We know, we've seen San Diego State enough to know this is how they play.
Yes.
It necessarily isn't great or pretty, but they are as resilient a basketball team as there is in the country.
Heidi at it, now it's Butler, and on top for Saunders. Cutting is Parrish. Driving is Saunders. Firing away, Waters, 3, no. Big rebound, Saunders inside. Rebound, Heidi. He can't get it to go. The other way they come, Cam Spencer. Sheds the defense, got the screen, takes it inside, a nest of defenders awaits. It's a rebound inside by Butler.
The defense has taken over this game.
It really has. I thought Spencer had a lot of room to shoot the ball and then took it into the defense.
Whoa, Butler goes careening and falls hard on his leg. In an awkward way, and on the deck he is now, Lamont Butler, the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. As Connecticut has not had any points over the last 9 possessions. Player down with a drive right here. Welcome back to Boston. Watch 24 in 24. Last chef standing. The series premieres Sunday, April 14th, 8 o'clock on Food Network. Connecticut has no points in their last 9 possessions. And their lead has gotten as high, Dan, as 11 points. Right now standing at 5.
Most interesting thing, you see Jaden Ledee, has 15 of the 28 points for the Aztecs, but he has 2 fouls, but he's out of the game now because Klingon went out and Samson Johnson came in, so that allowed Brian Dutcher to take Ledee out of the game.
Good point. So here is Lamont Butler at the free throw line, swinging it over to Andy.
The reason he was a little bit of a pain is it was the same area that he suffered a bone bruise right on the front of that shin in the first round win over UAB. They just sort of rewrapped it. It was a little bit of pain, but obviously he's good to go now.
He sure is. Went to the same high school as UCLA, and NBA legend Reggie Miller passed him, in fact, on the school's all-time scoring list.
Think about that. He scored more points than Reggie Miller.
Reggie was saving it for UCLA.
I don't think Reggie ever saved it.
3.5 to play in the half. Here comes Newton on top. Johnson a screen. Ball jarred free. Shot clock at 7. Cam Spencer, one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. Maneuvers for 2.
That is a tough step back. Elijah Saunders did a great job forcing him off the 3-point line. He just got down, stepped back, and shot that off one leg.
Connecticut had missed 4 of their last 6 shots, but they get that to go. The other way, it's Waters to Butler. In the corner, Saunders 3, short. And Samson Jackson's got the ball.
Stan, your question, where is San Diego State going to get offense with Ledee on the bench, is a good question.
Foul as he takes it in. Spencer was maneuvering.
San Diego State
Foul is on Butler, who picks up his second for the Aztecs.
Just a great job there. Taking the contact on the perimeter, creating space, and just fading away on that left foot.
He's really clever offensively. I mean, he's a good passer, but he can make those little floaters and step backs.
He was a starter at Loyola Maryland, a starter for Rutgers last season, after being named the Maryland Player of the Year. Terrific addition and a great shooter. Johnson. The three, Newton no. The rebound, Leaping Waters.
It's about time to get a rebound there. I mean, for most of this first half, Connecticut's had more offensive rebounds than San Diego State's had defensive rebounds.
Heidi's got it. His sister's playing in the women's bracket in the Sweet 16. Parrish. Micah Parrish puts it down.
Now that's a place where they can get offense, but he has not shot the ball well recently, and maybe that three going down is going to get him going. Heidi just playing center field in the lane.
Coming up on AT&T at the half as the foul goes on Waters. First half analysis and an update on Clemson, Arizona, plus the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up on AT&T at the half.
Now Klingen's back in, but Ledie's not going to come in because there's only 1 minute and 49 seconds left in this half, and they don't want him to get his third personal foul.
Cam Spencer at the line, 91% free throw shooter, and I told you earlier, one of the top three-point shooters in the country, number 5 in college basketball.
Yeah, look, this guy can really shoot, and as Dan said, he can really play. But they're going to have to get, I don't know, 1 minute 49 is a long time. Ledie's 7 for 10 tonight. The rest of the team for San Diego State is 6 for 20 from the floor.
Stan, you're absolutely right. This is a critical 1 minute and 49 seconds for the Aztecs.
Lead is 6. It's been as high as 11. The Aztecs who finished 11-7 in the Mountain West, in the middle of the pack. On top here, Trammell, who played at Seattle, a transfer. And now Saunders with the shot clock in single digits. Caravan will defend. Saunders with it. Waters has it. Shot clock at 1-3. No. Rebound taken by Spencer. Up the middle he comes. A great assist man. Kicks it in the corner. That's a 3. It's no good on the shot by Diarra. Offensive rebound. Klingen doubled up and off. Fighting for it inside. Hand-to-hand combat. That's a foul on UConn.
Stan, an awful lot of offensive rebounds, but nobody's converting. And this is really good passing in that particular sequence. And Klingen has been ice cold tonight, gets the foul going over the back. He's missed a number of shots at point-blank range.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dan. And he's 1 for 5 now and has not been able to score over the top. But give him credit. They haven't given him those dunks. They've been behind him and made him go over the top.
Klingen picks up his second foul. On top is Parrish. Makes a move. And over Newton. Heidi couldn't get the rebound. It's lassoed inside by Samson Johnson. Another rebound. He's got 2.
Well, the Aztecs rely on their defense, and that's what they're going to have to do here down at the end of this half.
It's the Connecticut Huskies on top, 37-31, timeout. Connecticut by 6. Head to Bleach Report for the latest episodes of From the Point by Trey Young. Features the Basketball Stars conversation with A-list guests and his unique perspective on stories from around the league. Download the Bleach Report app to watch now. Connecticut has lost just 1 game since January 1st. That was at Creighton, Dan, in late February. They have gone 22-1 since the new year.
Kevin, they've only lost 1 game to a non-conference team in 2 years.
Isn't that amazing? Setting up right now, Diarra. 6th man award winner in the Big East. Controlling on top. Shot clock at 9. Spencer 3. 16.
Well, great screening, and Spencer coming hard to the shot.
Final seconds. Trammell, he'll put up a 3. Caravan Spencer, good if it goes. Halftime is here. And the Huskies, the defending national champions, led by Dan Hurley, have a 9-point lead.
And Spencer, I mean, if he can catch and shoot like that, he's going to make an extremely high percentage, particularly when they throw the ball right to him perfectly.
Let's swing it over to Andy Katz.
Well, Danny, we've seen this all year from Cam Spencer. Big shot after big shot, makes free throws. How much of a difference maker has he been?
Well, we got off to a great start offensively by everybody, and then everyone went cold except for Cam. Cam helped us close the half, so killer Cam's been great.
You know San Diego State's going to come back because that's what they do. They're tough, they're physical. How do you put them away at the beginning of the second half?
It's going to take a full 20. These are the two teams that met in the national championship game. Neither one of us is going to go quietly into the night.
Thanks, Danny.
Dan Hurley, one of 4 finalists for the Naismith Coach of the Year Award. He's one of the best in the business, and he's got his defending champions on top 40-31 at the half. We'll take you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Welcome back to Boston. A look at AT&T first half stats. Connecticut scored only twice off of their 12 offensive rebounds. And Dan, the Huskies began the game 11-16, but since that start, only 4 of 22.
Kevin, you can see they're shooting 39%, and without Cam Spencer, they'd be much worse than that because he's 6 for 9. He's had a heck of a first half. Not only has he scored 16 points, he's driven the ball to the basket, he's knocked down a couple of threes, but he's got 4 rebounds, he's got 2 assists, he's got 2 steals. He's been fabulous tonight for the Huskies.
UConn has had some gigantic halftime leads in this tournament, but not tonight. What about San Diego State in the second half?
Well, San Diego State, 2 things. They've got a rebound. UConn has 12 offensive rebounds. They've only got 11 defensive rebounds. And someone please help Jaden Ledee. He's 7 for 10. The rest of the team is 6 for 23.
All right, so UConn will inbound and get things started here in the second half. The winner goes to the Elite Eight. They'll take on the winner of Iowa State and Illinois coming up here later tonight in Boston. Spencer inside, a floater on the fly. High rebound right there by Powell.
Well, that's another good-looking shot. Those floaters, of course, are tough, but that was wide open.
Powell's got it, defended by Castle. Now Parrish on top.
They look very confused right here in what they're supposed to be running.
They get it off to Trammell. And then a miss by Ledee.
There's that fall away or step back that Brian Dutcher was complaining about to Andy in the first half.
Good catch by Castle. And a beautiful lob pass thrown inside. Let's swing it over to Andy Katz.
Well, on that first possession, you did see that Butler was on Cam Spencer, and that's exactly what Brian Dutcher told me as we were walking back onto the court. And Stan, that's why you're the best. You might have been in that locker room because exactly what you said is what Dutch told me. They got to make shots. Someone else has to help out Ledee. They got to cut off transition, and they absolutely have to rebound. And there's Butler bearing one.
Yeah, and that's great start for them. Butler's capable of hitting that pull-up. Butler and Trammell, remember last year in that national championship, each had 13 points. So they're capable guys, and Ledee needs the help.
Spencer picked up by Butler. Driving inside. Ball knocked away off of San Diego State. Shot clock at 9.
Now, putting Butler on Spencer, I think, is a good idea, but that leaves Trammell on Castle, and Castle is 6'6", and we already saw him lob it over top of Trammell. That is a difficult matchup for Trammell on the inside.
Yeah, and Newton did a great job recognizing that the last time down.
It's Caravan inside. Powell got a hand on it. And retrieved by Castle. 2 to fire. 3, no. Rebound, Klingon. Gobbled it up. Has the mismatch. Kicks it out in the corner. Newton, 2-3, puts it in.
Well, that's one of the few times tonight that UConn's been able to convert off an offensive rebound. Already now 14 offensive rebounds, but that's only 7 second chance points.
Well, you can't give UConn 3 cracks at it.
UConn has their biggest lead. Butler Trey. Rebound Newton. Tristan Newton, the All-America, the other way. Got the screen and fires. Picked up. Castle had a hand on it and takes it away. Another try, another offensive rebound. That one, though, goes to the hands of Karaban. It's Parrish, and the other way, driving down the lane, is Butler, and he snakes his way for 2.
Well, that's good to see Butler get a couple of buckets.
San Diego State is not going to stop. They're just going to keep coming at you. They don't always play a pretty brand of basketball, but they play a very tough-minded, relentless brand of basketball.
They lost in the Mountain West Championship to New Mexico. It's Newton curling and firing a pass, looking for Klingon, loose inside, out of bounds and off the Huskies.
So 2 turnovers in a row there for UConn. Ledee did an excellent job reading that lob there and knocking it away. And then on the loose ball, it goes off of Newton's chest there.
Well, it wasn't really a great lob. It was too low.
Ledee over Klingon. And now the Spencer rebound will trigger it the other way for the Huskies. It's Castle, Klingon, and they'll set in back-to-back Sweet 16s for the first time in a long time. The Connecticut Huskies will get it inside. Klingon right there. He's defended by Ledee. Shot clock at 7.
That was a nice move. He's had trouble with Ledee's physicality. He can't get closer to the basket. He's not able to block, to back him down, but that time he just used his size to get up over the top.
And he was patient. He didn't hurry that time.
Off-balance shot won't go for Lamont Butler. Powell tries to gather it in and does. And kicks it on the wing. Here's the 3. Butler can't connect. Inside Klingon, hounded inside, and a foul. Klingon, who wears the old number 32 of Rip Hamilton, takes it in here, has the size advantage, and comes up with the basket. The big sophomore, the Connecticut High School Player of the Year with a deuce. And now keys to the game presented by Great Clips. Dan, let's begin with the Aztecs.
Well, I think their defense has been pretty good. They've applied some pressure, but they've been dominated in the paint. 22-12 on paint points right now.
And another indication of how good their defense has been is Connecticut's shooting percentage, but Connecticut has just been dominant on the backboards. They have 15 offensive rebounds.
Defense of Connecticut has held opponents to 64 points a game. That's in the top 15 in the nation. And they've limited opponents to just 39% from the floor. That is top 10. And they're ranking in efficiency number 8. San Diego State's defensive efficiency number 9. Newton on top. Shot clock at 9. And defended here by Bird. Shot clock at 7.
I would look, it's nitpicking a little. Newton's a great player. He's had a great year. His handle's got to tighten up a little. People can get to that handle and knock the ball away from him.
Castle to Spencer. Screen is set. Riddles his way inside. He traveled.
Dan, I think Spencer, who's a great shooter, has passed up some mid-range jumpers and taken it into the defense and made it a little tougher.
I agree with you, Stan, but I don't know that he's a particularly good shooter off the dribble, and so I think that he's conscious of that. He tries to get closer.
Butler, the defensive player of the year in the Mountain West, gets it into Ledee. This is over Klingon with a block. Ledee got it back in a foul.
Great defense there by Klingon. That's the first time where I've said that Klingon really stopped Ledee, but Ledee does a great job staying with it and gets fouled on the way back up, not by Klingon, but by Spencer.
That's amazing. He got the shot block and just kept it.
So they got Ledee at the line, and Klingon picks up the foul, as no Spencer is the one to get it. Speaking about Klingon, we mentioned before that he's got the now retired uniform number 32 of Rip Hamilton, but he wears it in honor of his late mom. She was a terrific college basketball player and a Hall of Famer at the University of Maine. Her number was 32, and that's why he wears it. She passed away 6 years ago yesterday. He thinks about her every day and dedicates all of his basketball to her. And he sets up on top. He's got it now for national champion Connecticut. Spencer Castle bringing the screen inside Castle. Lunges, foul, body on body.
I love Castle. Always under control, especially for a freshman. There's no wildness about him. He's poised, he's under control. He can handle, he can pass. He will become a better shooter. He's an excellent defender. Castle's an outstanding player.
Waters picked up his second. At the free throw line is Castle, a McDonald's All-America, 5-star player. One of the best players from Newton High School in Covington, Georgia. Now a Husky. Watch Masters Live for exclusive coverage of Amen Corner 15 and 16 and featured groups. Watch live on the CBS Sports app.
Stan, and San Diego State really struggling on the offensive end because Ledee hasn't scored in this half, and he was the offense.
And those 2 free throws were big. I mean, you're down 12, you're fighting to stay in it. You get to the line and miss both. That is really a problem.
But now they've got to make a run, San Diego State. They've got to score a couple in a row here and draw Connecticut back in a little closer.
It's their biggest deficit tonight, and losing the ball on the dribble was Butler. It was vacuumed in by Spencer. The other way comes Newton.
And that was Castle's defense, though. Outstanding pressure on Butler.
Newton's got it. Carabana screen. Waters will defend in the corner. Spencer then takes it on that baseline and feeds. Oh, jam! Castle.
That is a great pass by Spencer, who is 8th in the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio.
But it's a great passing Connecticut team. They've got 4 guys on their team with 87 or more assists on the year.
Butler takes it in. The whistle before the dunk by Ledee.
Well, to your point, Dan, they're 3rd in the nation in assists as we see Spencer go down here. Just a great dish. And they lead the nation in assist-to-turnover ratio at almost 2-1.
Well, this is just a situation where nobody is guarding Castle.
Well, they went to help on the baseline. Saunders was supposed to sink down and did not.
At the free throw line is Butler. Just under 14 to play in the second half. The Aztecs of San Diego State have had the 3rd best record in college basketball the last 4 years. Gonzaga, Houston, and then the Aztecs. And the 6th best record in all college ball over the last 14 years. A program that has made it all the way to the Final Four against UConn last year. And they're back here at the Sweet 16.
Well, Brian Dutcher, no one has paid their dues more or for longer than Brian Dutcher. He was an assistant with Steve Fisher for 10 years at Michigan, for 18 years at San Diego State, waited his turn, and now when he's gotten it, he has been off the charts good.
He's a 2-time Mountain West Coach of the Year. Castle's on top. Defended by Waters. Spencer, the fake, the foul. Volleyballed around, retrieved by UConn, lost it inside. Look at Ledee jumping on Castle in there. It will be the Aztecs' ball. On the hole.
And that was actually pretty good defense. You don't let Spencer get that catch-and-shoot jump shot. Now, he can make that one, but again, what a struggle trying to get a defensive rebound.
Right, and so they get it on the possession arrow, but that doesn't give you any opportunity to push the ball in transition. You're facing a UConn set defense that is one of the best in the country. They have got to find a way to rebound, and I'm not sure they can.
Ledee double in a straight jacket. That's a held ball. Tie up, and it goes to UConn.
Great help by Carabana. And why wouldn't you bring that second defender to Ledee? Just totally commit. You don't have to worry about anyone else right now, really, on the perimeter.
Hassan Diarra will give it off to Castle. And now Caravan. Diarra's got it. He's a senior from Queens. Newton, and on top, Castle. Maneuvering, got a screen with the switch. The shot clock is down to 5. Castle makes a move. Lot of traffic. Whoa, is right. 13 points.
13.7 rebounds, 4 of them offensive.
That's the definition of being under control.
It's Trammell. Handing off inside to Bird. Leddy's got it. And squeezes one up and in. 17. And his first score in the second half.
And drew the foul for a three-point play, and the referee just wouldn't call it.
Well, somehow, this San Diego State defense that has carried them has to get a couple of stops. But, I mean, Connecticut moves so well with the ball. Without the ball, you're just chasing them around.
Newton pile driving his way inside. Got his miss. Shot clock at 6. Caravan open 3. With the rebound inside, collected by Newton. Out to Diarra.
The rebounding, to me, is the main story in the game for San Diego State. Their inability to rebound the ball. 18 offensive rebounds. You know, you generally want 75% of the missed shots. They're getting 40%.
And they're minus 19 for the game overall with a break in the action. You got it, EJ. Thank you. And next in LA will be North Carolina, Alabama. Remember, Alabama was the #1 team in the AP ranking last year coming into the tournament, and the Aztecs of San Diego State beat them to get to the Final Four. One of the big surprises last year. In the Sweet 16 again, here comes Parrish, Ledee, and Trammell. Jab steps and drives inside into Diarra. Rebound is lassoed in there by Diarra. He'll come the other way for the Huskies. Curling, driving, defender fell up and down for 2. It's the biggest lead for the Huskies.
And they just get the ball and they push it. And Trammell, again, is really having problems with the size of the Connecticut backcourt.
As most teams did. Foul called on UConn. It goes on Samson Johnson.
And this is really a hard play here because Ledee is playing way off in the lane. And he can't get to that play. So when Parrish fell down, there's just nothing to be done.
Get the quick inbound and a quick trigger. That will drop a 3. Micah Parrish, who's only a 28% three-point shooter.
Yeah, they could use a lot of those right now. I mean, to get back into this thing, this isn't a score-quick team, but they're going to need to be now. They got to get some stops, and they've got to be able to push the pace a little bit if they're going to climb back in.
Newton will have it, and Trammell will be on him. Spencer, picked up by Parrish. Shot clock at 6. Screened by Johnson. Parrish, Spencer will take it inside into Parrish. With a whistle and a foul on Micah Parrish. With a look at our tournament summary, Sweet 16 featuring each of the top 8 teams in the bracket. Every #1 and #2 seed for the first time since 2019.
Yeah, that's incredible, and it's going to lead to the matchups that people want to see.
Parrish, #2. And Spencer at the line.
Yeah, well, great shot fake. He does a great job at the end of his dribble when he picks it up of shot faking. And Parrish really wanted to contest because Spencer's had it going. Gets a little over anxious, leaves his feet. Spencer able to draw the contact.
That's actually Spencer's first point in the second half.
He was money back in that first half.
And they really needed him, Kevin, because they were shooting the ball very poorly.
Waters is out. Butler is in. And Butler with the ball. 3-time all-defensive team member in the Mountain West. One of the best conferences in the country. Parrish will make a move. Jab step over Spencer.
And it's nice to see, if you're a San Diego State fan, to see the offense get going a little bit. They can be very streaky offensively, but that doesn't help. They've got to get stops.
Stops and rebounds, both have been tough.
UConn has won 8 straight NCAA tournament games by double digits. It's a 3. The miss by Newton. The rebound inside. Again, Connecticut. Tapped around. Retrieved by Stewart. Spencer. Diarra. Corner 3.
There is nothing you can do if you're going to give UConn 3 shots at it.
No, and they're starting to convert now. 8 second chance points here in the second half. First half, they got a lot of rebounds but couldn't convert, but now they are. They have 20 offensive rebounds for the game. San Diego State only has 12 defensive rebounds.
Spencer picked up his second personal foul.
And particularly when you have multiple defensive rebounds on one possession, the defense is so out of position that Diarra has time to stop, look at his feet, dribble, and then shoot the ball. San Diego State rarely gives up a shot that wide open.
Tristan Newton, a point guard, has 6 offensive rebounds.
I think the point you made earlier, Stan, is a very good one. Most guards don't block out.
Ledeen. Rebound Castle.
Well, that shot's not dropping in the second half. He's 1 for 5.
Jalen Stewart, and on top it goes for Johnson. Now Castle kicks it out. Diarra, another 3. Another offensive rebound, and a foul on San Diego State. Let's swing it over to Andy.
You were talking about Tristan Newton, and just think about his progression over the last couple of years where he has become a first-team All-American. I asked Danny Hurley yesterday about this, and you know, it is an amazing rise in his progression, but he did say, hey, he had 25 against us when he was at East Carolina.
That's exactly right. Clear starter there. Turnover as Birdie picked up his first. Knocked away by Castle at the other end and out of bounds.
San Diego State retains possession.
Castle even plays under control in transition defense. I mean, that was really a nice job to get back. Now he got called for a kick ball, but he got in the passing lane.
And stopped a fast break opportunity. I love Stephon Castle.
It's Saunders. High pass. With a whistle and a Connecticut foul. That will go on Samson Johnson, number 2.
We've talked about the physicality between Ledee and the San Diego State centers, and good heavens.
Well, they're letting him play, but when he reached and grabbed his arm is when he got the call. He just keeps pushing and shoving. They're not calling that.
Ledee with the big first half. Has it right here. The former Ohio State Buckeye and TCU Horned Frog. Lost inside Saunders. The diving Ledee. Picked up by Butler on the wing. It is a 3 and no good. Firing from the corner.
Johnson's going to get called for another one.
Saunders couldn't get it to drop, but a foul called on the Huskies inside.
There's a block out, and then there is a block. And the block is good in football, but not in basketball. And that's what Johnson did.
And Johnson's going to come out. Johnson giving away a lot of strength in there to Ledee.
Klingon comes in. Here's Butler. Out there with Ledee at the line. 8:26 to go. Jaden Ledee. He's from Houston, 4-time All-State player. Here at Ohio State, 2 at TCU, mainly coming off the bench. In this tournament, he's averaged 29 points a game on the 1-and-1. It's the first right there. Get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament at ncaa.com.
And going back to Ledee, Kevin, his first 4 years of college basketball, 118 games, he scored 601 points this year. In 35 games coming into the night, he scored 750.
Isn't that amazing?
What an improvement this guy's made.
Really struggling from the line tonight, though, and you made the point, Stan. You get those opportunities from the line. You have to convert them if you're going to make a comeback.
Well, they have no margin for error against UConn.
Diarra jabs, feeds, Klingon! It's the biggest lead tonight for the defending national champs with under 8 to go.
And this has been their MO for the last 2 NCAA tournaments, Kevin. They just pull away.
Ledee with the rebound by Castle. He's got 10.
They've got so many weapons, and they can come at you in so many different ways.
Castle has it. And now Klingon on top. And Diarra. Spencer. Shot clock down to 4. Klingon is down there. Ledee defending. Poked it away. Picked up by Butler. Ahead it goes. Dropped down the play. Bird thought he had it. It will be San Diego State's ball. 7:16 to go. UConn shooting 42%. 36% shooting for the Aztecs as we step aside. And now a look from our AT&T Connected Cam. It plays inside for the Huskies.
And it's Stephon Castle, the point guard, who has been fabulous on the inside stand. He's got 13 points and 10 rebounds.
And he's so poised, and he might be better on the defensive end than he is on the offensive end.
Clemson has just won, beating higher seed Arizona. Second ever Elite Eight for Clemson. Shot there, no. Spencer the rebound for the Huskies, who are 7 minutes and 3 seconds away from going to the Elite Eight for a second consecutive season. Castle, Klingon. The rebounding has been phenomenal. 21 offensive rebounds.
What a pass!
A great pass. Spencer had the hockey assist. Castle got it to Klingon, and Klingon puts it through.
That was 2 great passes.
Absolutely.
That is UConn basketball at its best. Spencer on a great backdoor pass, and then that touch pass from Castle. This guy had this in mind before he ever caught the ball. He saw this coming. Castle is a special player.
But the movement of the players, Stan, they just don't, they never stand still. They're going all the time.
Absolutely, and Klingon's screen is really what set the whole thing up, because that's what got Spencer open and created the help.
It's Ledee on top for San Diego State. Trammell, an outside Powell. 3, no. Rebound Klingon. And he's now collected 8.
And remember, he struggled early in the game trying to match the physicality of Ledee.
He's adjusted well. Klingon's on top and approaching 6 to go. Spencer picked up by Butler. Klingon the handoff, and Spencer drives and wheels down low. With the rebound by Reese Waters. Here comes the other way. And the Aztecs will get it to Ledee, whose 15-footer is off, and Caravan with the rebound.
He has shot the ball very poorly in the second half, and San Diego State just can't survive if Ledee's not going to be a big scorer.
Right, he's only got 3 points, 1 for 7 from the floor, 1 for 4 from the free throw line.
Newton driving on Waters. A foul.
San Diego State foul number 13, Reese Waters.
Waters picks up his 4th.
Team 6th.
That's really unbelievable strength and control. Newton is 6'5", weighs 195 pounds. He's got the quickness to get, now he's not jet quick, but he's got the quickness to get by you out front, and then he is so strong taking the ball to the goal.
Boy, you see that line there, 14.7 rebounds, 4 assists.
Newton, who is approaching 2,000, he's approaching 2,000 points in his career. Tonight, Newton's got 14. He's still a little bit shy. Klingon will grab that loose ball and give it off to Spencer, who will chip his way up court.
You know, if you're one of the teams that's standing in the future path of UConn, you know you have to play your best game, and even that may not be enough. These guys are really something.
I agree. They have to probably be a little bit off, and then you have to play great.
Look at the margin of victory going back to last year's tournament.
And they haven't been a little bit off at all. They haven't been, not only a little bit off, they haven't been any off.
Well, but they have, right? So their last game, they were 3 for 22 against Northwestern from 3 and still won easily. And tonight they're now 8 for 23 from 3. So it's not like these leads are being built up because they're shooting lights out. They're struggling shooting the ball.
But it shows you what their balance is, the number of different ways that they can beat you.
Newton now is 17. Powell will try to make a move. Ledee will fire over Klingon. Castle, blocked, foul. Ledee is in there. And the foul goes on Ledee.
Now that is some foul right there.
Heavy collision.
San Diego State timeout goes to
With the timeout, we step aside in 4.5 to go. As UConn is looking at an Elite Eight. So a 25 rebound advantage for UConn. They come in as one of the top 10 rebounding teams in college basketball. Their margin 8.7. And here they are with a complete devastation on the glass with a look at Dan Hurley's wife, Andrea. He made special mention of her over this last handful of weeks, saying a coach sometimes is only as good as his wife, and she is the perfect wife, and I thank her for keeping me buoyant. And the season has gone up and down as Castle hits the first free throw.
Well, I will just tell you, having coached for a long time and seen what my wife had to go through, I have 3 daughters, and I would absolutely panic if they were involved with a coach. That is a hard life, and I give Andrea Hurley all the credit in the world.
They met at Seton Hall when he was playing, and she was a student.
Well, that business about her bringing a portable washing machine so she can hand wash his underwear is unbelievable.
Well, listen, on top of everything else, look, Dan Hurley's got some superstitions here. Like Andy Katz has got to be ready for it because Andy's the only different member of our crew from a year ago when he was at the Sweet 16. And so he told me yesterday, if we lose, it's on Andy Katz because it was Lauren Shahadi here last year.
Poked away. Parrish will pick up the foul. And under 4 to go. Dan Hurley and his team 73-48. It's time for It Takes More, presented by Powerade.
This has been the story of the night. They just have gotten too many opportunities. Here, 2 offensive rebounds, and then you can't get more time than this. He takes a bounce, checks his feet, knocks it in.
That's what we said before. I mean, with that many chances at it, the defense is just so out of position, scrambling, trying to get the ball. There was nobody even in the picture with him.
And look, they have so many ways, Dan, you said it earlier, so many ways to beat you. So tonight it's been on the glass as much as anything. They could come out here on Saturday and knock down 15 threes.
Yes, they could.
Here is Stephon Castle at the line, Big East Freshman of the Year. As they go once again to the bench, Castle, 11 times this season, was the Big East Freshman of the Week. He broke the record of 10 in a row, held by Carmelo Anthony.
That's a pretty good name right there.
That's what this kid has been all about, in a pickpocket right there. And Stewart will take it in. He seems to be completely covered. It's off of San Diego State. So the winner here will face either Illinois or Iowa State. And that will tip off right now approximately about 10 minutes after 10 Eastern time.
Well, that one's interesting, right?
It is.
In the next round, because here we've got UConn, who's the nation's 2nd best offense and 8th best defense, and they'll either be facing the best offensive team in the country in Illinois or the best defensive team in the country in Iowa State.
UConn with this win will tie a program record for wins in a season. This will be number 34. And they're going to win by double digits. And that'll be their 9th consecutive double-digit win in the tournament, tying a mark of Izzo and Michigan State going back to 2000 and 2001.
Wow. Izzo was young then.
He was young, and he was taking his team to the Final Four. This summer, the Targaryens, the Iron Throne, on the biggest show on TV, you're back. Season 2 of the HBO original series, House of the Dragon, premieres June 16th. Only on Max. Solomon Ball, a freshman from Leesburg, Virginia, has checked in. Stewart is in the contest. Staying in the game is Castle. As both teams try to bring in some players that have been so much of the program. This is a long three. It will not drop there by Ball. The rebound by the Aztecs and cleaned up by Waters.
Well, you saw the San Diego State coaching staff taking time to hug all those players coming off the floor. It's been a remarkable 2 years for this program. First back-to-back Sweet 16s in school history. National championship game last year. Brian Dutcher's been to the conference tournament finals 7 straight years. What a program they have built in San Diego.
He's got some pretty good genes, too. His dad, Jim Dutcher, was a terrific college coach.
Well, Brian does such a great job at San Diego State, and you know, it's unfortunate for them. They've gotten into the Sweet 16 2 years ago and Final Four last year, and they've run into the same buzzsaw.
That's right. They're 7-2 in the NCAA tournament the last 2 years after tonight, and those 2 are UConn.
Saunders scrambling for that loose ball, and here they come. Stewart the other way. Wide open. Andy, what do you have?
Well, if you remember yesterday, Brian Dutcher stood right by us and looked up in the rafters and saw that number 32 for the Boston Celtics, Kevin McHale, and thought of his dad, Jim Dutcher, who coached McHale among many other great players at the University of Minnesota. So even though it's not the same Boston Garden, 32's up in these rafters, and Brian Dutcher wanted to make sure he acknowledged Kevin McHale playing for his father, Jim Dutcher. No, Stan, you know that family and how great their love for basketball and what it's meant to this sport.
Well, look, you're seeing 2 coaches' sons coach against each other tonight. I was a coach's son, as was my brother, obviously. And there's just something special about being able to grow up around it and knowing what to expect.
Couple new players in for UConn. Jaden Ross has checked in. He's a freshman. They've got 6 true freshmen on this UConn team. Rumaglu is checked in from Greece, and Andrew Hurley has come in, the coach's son, who wears number 20, with a bump and a spin and a foul. That goes on Waters.
My guess, that would be the one contention between Andrea Hurley and her husband. I'm going to bet she's like most parents and does not think that her son gets enough playing time.
Yes, absolutely. There's no question about that.
Cade Alger is going to check in for the Aztecs. Senior from Oakdale, California. He was awarded a scholarship this season after 3 years as a non-scholarship player. And a thank you from Brian Dutcher for a player that has earned a spot. Rumaglu's got it. Sophomore from Greece. He's on top, and he'll put up a 3. The Huskies are going to go to the Elite 8 again. And the defense of their national championship is alive and well. A turnover. And it's picked up by Singare. He is in. Yusuf Singare is from Mali.
And Dan Hurley's telling his guys, don't try to score.
You know, I've always felt bad for the guys, though, in these situations. They get very little time to play. Now they're at the very end of the game, and I just got to run out the clock.
Well, as a guy who was in that situation, that really hurts. You get in the game, you don't score, and your scoring average, which is already a disaster, goes down even further. Keep in mind, guys, remember, with 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the first half, this was a 4-point game. And UConn, they stretched it out to 9 at halftime, and they have never looked back.
So Jaden Ross is in, freshman from Bristow, Virginia. With the ball here, coming up, B.J. Davis. He's a freshman from Modesto. Here's Ryan Schwartz. Off on the wing to Cam Lawn. And a shot here by Ryan Schwartz. And out of bounds, and 20.8 to go. So they clean the benches. And UConn will become the first reigning national champion to advance to the Elite Eight since Florida won back-to-back championships in 06 and 07. The other way comes Davis. Off to Loin from Chicago. He works. And a whistle and a foul. It'll go on solo ball. Solomon Ball picks up his first.
Kevin, and this is an impressive Connecticut team.
It is.
I mean, they lost 3 guys to the pros off last year's team, and this team may be better.
Yeah, there's no question. They lost Adama Sanogo, who's with the Chicago Bulls, mainly in the G League, where he's putting up big numbers. They lost Jordan Hawkins, who's played very well for the New Orleans Pelicans. And then they lost Andre Jackson Jr., who's played over 500 minutes for the Milwaukee Bucks. And yet here they are again.
7 seconds to go. And they take it in with B.J. Davis, who puts down 2 more. And that'll do it. This one's over. Connecticut is going to the Elite Eight. And the largest margin of victory in the Sweet 16 since 2017, when Kansas beat Purdue by 32. We did that game.
I wasn't part of the we, though, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I was.
You did that game. You and Dan.
To the Elite Eight. For more information,
So it'll be UConn against the winner of Illinois and Iowa State coming up at 10:10 Eastern in about 25 minutes or so here in Boston.